Being a pro would be annoying watching public image. Oh yeah, I know. Like when people are like giving their opinion on you and like talking about all the things that you always did wrong and this and that and this and that. That sounds like it would be frustrating. That's like any sport. Yeah. People blaming you for losses on their bets. Oh, that must be terrible. Because people put tons of money on professional games and it's not your fault. Like you're just playing the game and doing your best. I mean, and trying to win. It's not like you don't want to win, but like people will blame you for a mistake that they made. And I'm sure that's very common. That just sounds like really stressful. Lost out on 3K because someone dropped 5 catches in a row. Yikes. 5 in a row? Oh my god. Yeah, see, exactly. And then it's like, I doubt the wide receiver wanted to drop 5 catches. He probably wanted to catch every single one of them, but he didn't. And then you have people who are pissed off, but there's going to be some people who are crazy who actually like bet the house on that shit and then they lost it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exists. Yeah. And then they'll want to take it out on the player. That would just scare me. The house. I mean, you know what I mean. Just, we'll say a lot of money. The mortgage payment, maybe not the house.
Last player standing.
That's not a good round to lose. Oh my god.
Last player standing.
I pretty much had to peek, but I should have blinded instead. Oh well.
Spike down B.
These guys are running 3 sentinels. Oh, that's tough. If we can get at least, I mean, hopefully we can get at least a few rounds, and then maybe we can turn this on defense. Oh.
Last play run.
This other team doesn't have smokes. They have no way of delaying our push, so they're playing like strictly for retake.
They have no way
At
of
least
delaying
on
the
A,
push.
or
Does he
on
know
B.
what a sentinel does? That's literally like the MO of a sentinel, is to delay push. And they have 3 of them.
One enemy remaining. I know.
Rotate back then. Oh, shoot.
I'm getting scanned so much.
Last player standing.
Do you know that bots are reading applications now? So do they just feed the application to an AI so that it can see if it checks the boxes? Do jobs really have enough applications to justify that? Like if you have a job application, if you have a job opening, are you really getting like such a large volume that you need to? Like how much time does it really take to look over applications? What's the justification for this? Corporate companies? Yeah, that makes sense. If it's a big corporate company, you probably could have 100+ applications for like a decent job. If it's a good company and a good job. 100, I mean, 100 might be the low end of it. Could be close to 500 if it's desirable. I mean, if it's 500 applications, that's like practically a job in and of itself to look through them and judge whether they're worth it.
Last player standing.
Oh,
Go.
Ha, ha.
McDonald's uses AI too? Yeah. Not like your basic McDonald's job. Yeah, because those job openings probably don't have a ton of competition. Reading the same Google template. Yeah, that would be terrible. I mean, I guess I would probably feed it to an AI as well, just to make it easier to like sift through. But that does sound, I mean, that does kind of suck. There's at least one here.
Baby B, planning B.
Spike down B.
AI's coming for our jobs? Yeah, I think. Yeah, honestly, a little bit. I don't know exactly to what degree, but there's a lot of basic processes that can be replaced by computers. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but I guess that's kind of how things are going. Time to be the only profession they can't take over, which is which? OnlyFans? No. Yeah, there's actually a lot of AI stuff for that. It's totally sus, but I mean, you pretty much, like, the reason why it works is that a lot of times AI is just like copying what already exists. So you just feed it a bunch of data and then it gives you the average of the data. So do you see people trying to do like YouTube content and stuff that's generated by AI just from copying what already exists. That's been a thing for a little bit at least.
Spike planted.
Should have kept my anchor.
Player standing.
Ah. People do it more for the interaction than the pictures, but even then, it's still, I mean, you can simulate interaction with chatbots and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not saying it's good, I'm just saying it's technically still possible. Like, how, the question becomes, I mean, for any of these things, the question becomes how good can AI really do it? Because there's something of it that, there's still something of it that isn't human. Like, it really is just copying something that already exists. So, like, obviously there's no spirit in it, or no soul. Shucks. But I honestly think that for a lot of things, like the faking stuff, like you say, like fake OF or fake stuff, like fake things like that, you could say even like fake content creation that's just copying what already is there. I think it only will work so long until people realize that it's not exactly satisfying. How many data points until it has a soul? I don't think that's the case. I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't think that's actually a thing. AI and computers are just sophisticated copying. I mean, AI is pretty much just sophisticated copying stuff. Like, you just give it a bunch of information and it copies it. But I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think that can ever really have I don't think that could ever really have a soul unless you could consider like the soul of the creator or the programmer of it, but that's not the same. Like, AI and stuff is just really sophisticated copying. Didn't mean like an actual soul, but you could mean it basically it's indistinguishable, I guess.
Spike planted.
There's a spiritual component to a human being that you cannot create in a computer. There's something more there than people think. People are underestimating how important that piece is when they talk about AI taking over everything and AI being so good and like the replacement for people. Is there's a component that people are not considering, I think, or taking for granted. It's just not possible because of entropy basically, I think. You just can't do it. Some people are very, I mean, I assume very concerned. I don't know. I actually don't really know what to think. I think there's a lot of processes and things that can be streamlined, and that you can use something like AI to do a lot of copying, but I don't know. It's kind of like, okay, so like we'll say about like art, because AI art is something that's been a big piece of debate. I know people talking about like AI basically taking jobs from artists and stuff like that. And I think that we're losing the round.
Last player standing.
Finished. My own friend.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Double.
I think I have to do this, yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
A lot of AI's using, yeah, for art and stuff like that. I think, I don't know. I don't know. I think at some point, AI will copy things. I think at some point it's just human creativity is going to still be the, I think human creativity is still going to be kind of the trump card, I guess. Because AI can't create, all it can do is copy. So at some point, I mean, AI is really good at copying stuff, don't get me wrong. So like, it can copy creativity that already exists, but it's not like you can replace the creativity. As if there's no creativity to copy, like if AI puts all the artists out of business and there's no creativity left, it'll actually just mean that there's only one I only saw one B main. If they put them all out of business and there's no more creativity to copy, then it'll all look the same. It'll start being like, I don't know how to say it, like it'll be boring. You'll just get bored. It's like, okay, you copied once, wow, that looks so cool, but now it can't do anything like new or exciting. It's just the same shit over and over again. And people will get bored of it. For creative tasks, I think, because there has to already have been the groundwork laid by a person. And once that's gone, it's just gonna be boring.
Blinded. One enemy remaining.
Stick that shit. Stick that shit.
Yeah, he's gonna ult. Never mind. You're better.
Cool. It seems like it's going to probably create a lot of shortcuts to the creative process. Like where before you would be limited by certain mediums and like not have a starting point, I think that will be changed by AI. I just don't know. I mean, I just don't know. I honestly think that AI is just going to get boring because once it's been done once or twice,
Yo, can someone buy me?
it's gonna be the same shit. Like it's gonna be the same. It's gonna copy things in the exact same way over and over again. Like, I don't know. It seems like AI is just gonna, like, given a year, it's all gonna be the same shit. Everyone will have seen it before, and they'll be bored of it. I think I went too early on that retake. I tried to retake site by myself before my teammate was grouped. My team was grouped. So I think that was a blunder. I mean, sure, I got one, but you need to wait for the retake. My blinds should be going out to set up my teammates. It shouldn't just be setting up me. Because blinds are going to force enemies to go back. But if my team isn't there to capitalize on it, it's just me. I mean, I end up taking a 2v1 and I lose. Oh well, it is how it is. AI will eventually be able to create, maybe, and AI voices and stuff. Yeah, that's true. They are very good. It's very good at imitating. I mean, it can basically imitate perfectly, but or not imitate perfectly. Probably within time, it will be almost perfectly, like practically imperceptible. But even then, it's a computer isn't going to know how to say something like it's like a computer isn't going to know how to really say it. Like a computer doesn't have the same. I'm trying to think of how to describe this without it being like crazy. But like, okay, so like really good acting technique, for instance, really good acting technique comes into contact with like the need, like the visceral needs to be alive and to go after things. It comes like really good acting technique and really good expression and really good speaking comes from that need to communicate and that need like to be alive, like that. Like, there's a visceral like of being alive, and AI doesn't have it. Computers will never have it. People have it because we have, I will say for me, it's the breath of life. It's what God put inside of us. It's our soul. We have it. We have a need to be alive. All living beings have it. A computer doesn't have it. For a computer, you can break one thing and the computer will get stuck and frozen on a single point, and the computer will never try to fix itself because it doesn't care. It doesn't need to be alive in that same way. Yeah, sure, okay, AI, well, it can learn how to fix itself. Yeah, until the part until the part that wants to fix itself breaks, and then it doesn't want to fix itself anymore. It doesn't have it. Computers will never have it. So computers can imitate all day long, and they can copy people all day long, but they don't have the same kind of need to communicate. They don't have the same kind of need to be alive, and that will never be, and that can never be imitated because we don't know how to, because you can't make that. You can't make it because of entropy. Basically, you can't make it because of entropy. You can't create a living being because of entropy. It's too complicated. Only God can do that. It's never happening. It's never happening. Sorry. Which God can do that? The one who made you and me. I mean, an AI can copy me. An AI can make it sound like me. But an AI can never need to say what I said. Like, so in acting, like the correct intonation and the correct truthful way to say something can only come from the honest experience of living it and needing to communicate something. A computer can never live that out. A computer can never do it. I don't know how to say it, but it's like part of like a human experience that's part of the experience of being alive. You can never make that. Like that can never be like farmed, I guess. You'll never be able to farm it. You'll never be able to do something like that. You just can't. Because of entropy, it's impossible. Like there's certain depth of emotion and depth of experience and depth of like living, I guess. It's that's what it is. You'll never make it. You can't create that. That is only God can create that. I mean, at least from my perspective. If you don't believe in God, you can say you have to be alive to do it. But a person cannot create an entity that's able to do that. We just don't have that ability. At least according to my worldview. I mean, you know, I might be wrong. This is just what I think and how I've seen it. You just can't make it. You can't make it. You can't imitate the need of existence. You can't.